Speaking now with Manoj Ladwa, let's talk about India and the Commonwealth. Now, India is a superpower that has an extremely loud voice when it comes to multilateralism. Although they don't use it very often, it is certainly a voice that's heard globally. And India's view on the Commonwealth, I think, bears significance in this moment in history. In your opinion, where do you think India is going with respect to the Commonwealth in terms of how will India engage with the Commonwealth and use the Commonwealth for their goals?
Thank you very much, Richard. I think the Commonwealth, and I've always believed this, presents a huge opportunity for India as it increasingly takes its place on the world stage. India is now the 5th largest economy in the world, and in the next 20 to 25 years, it will be the 3rd largest economy in the world. Again, in that same period, 25% of the world's workforce will be Indian or of Indian origin, and around 56% of the Commonwealth family, the population, is India. So India is a significant player within this fraternity. However, and I was listening very carefully to Baroness Scotland, and you've presented a fantastic business case for the Commonwealth. The problem, I fear, is that the business case is there, it's compelling, and you say it wonderfully well. But there is a brand perception of the Commonwealth in India where it sees this as an institution of the past. And the challenge, both for India and also for the rest of the Commonwealth, is how do we present this wonderful fraternity as a platform for the future and define it for the future. And that will require much more engagement, much more conversation, where India, I hope, will take a more significant part. And there are 3 key areas that I believe will be of where India can play a tremendous role. One is a digital Commonwealth, and Baroness Scotland has alluded to that. Secondly is a sustainable or a green Commonwealth, and that agenda is important, and it's the green economy and the blue economy. India has one of the largest coastlines in the world, and it understands the importance of the sea and maritime. And thirdly is a secure Commonwealth. And so security will also play an important role, and India will play an important role in that. But I think there is a challenge there, and that challenge is to be able to present the Commonwealth as a force for good for the future. And the balance has to be struck between the Commonwealth being a geopolitical body against a trading association. I've always believed, and Baroness Scotland has put the case there quite clearly, that is the most phenomenal trading bloc that could be built, and a lot of investment, especially of mind space, has to be put into that.
Well, thank you. I think the points you brought up regarding the types of economy that the Commonwealth can be a player in resonates in particular with a lot of the countries I've been speaking to. India, so in your view, do you feel that India is going to take a much more active role in the Commonwealth? Because your comments about the relevance of the Commonwealth has come up a lot, not just with India. And I think that's what Baroness Scotland pointed out, that there is a lot of value to the Commonwealth, even more so now. Do you think that India is going to start engaging a lot more? Is that the trend you see, or is it going to be pulling back?
India already plays a significant role within the Commonwealth across a whole spectrum of activities in any case, and it is a significant contributor to the Commonwealth. But I think the real opportunity is now, and as India looks to position itself on the world stage, you will see more of an interest in various aspects, and I said digital, green and secure Commonwealth are the areas of emphasis where I think India will be particularly keen on.
Very good. Let's look at a different perspective in the Commonwealth. I'd like to now talk with Foreign Minister Mamadou Tangara, the Foreign Minister of the Gambia. Foreign Minister, thank you for joining us today. I know that the Commonwealth is sending a mission this week, I believe, to the Gambia for the elections. Foreign Minister, I'd like you to share some light on your view as to the relevance of the Commonwealth, the importance of the Commonwealth, moreover, how the Commonwealth can help countries like the Gambia in post-COVID recovery, in tackling some of your issues at this moment in history.
Thank you very much, Richard. It's really a pleasure to see you, the chair in this session, and my greetings to Baroness Scotland, who visited the Gambia, and we had the opportunity to witness some of the events here in the Gambia, where she met with some of our most dynamic ministers, female ministers. The Commonwealth is relevant today more than ever before because of the convening power of the Commonwealth. And besides organization that can help us face the debilitating effects of the COVID pandemic, I think we have, as you mentioned it, like over 2.5 billion people within the Commonwealth with all the expertise, with all the resources. I think if we display some kind of little solidarity, we can help each other in this global family, human family, this Commonwealth family to rise up some of the challenges that we are facing. In the Gambia, of course, as you mentioned, the mission will be coming, as the Gambia is a shining example of a success story when it comes to sustaining peace. And the Commonwealth, all the organizations, the UN, ECOWAS, they all played a key role in resolving the political impasse we had in the Gambia. And no one wants to see the Gambia going towards the path of violence. And so it's very good, and we welcome the delegation that is coming, that will come and make sure that we have a level playing field when it comes to our election, because we want to organize one of the most transparent and fair elections in the Commonwealth. India is a shining example, is the biggest democracy in the world. And I think with in fact, I'm receiving in few days the State Minister for Africa from India here in the Gambia. And we are all comparing notes, trying to learn from each other. And I think learning from sharing experience within the Commonwealth can help all of us leapfrog and then do what is best for our people in these very challenging times of the COVID pandemic.
Thank you very much, Foreign Minister. And I will look forward to hearing how the mission to the Gambia is going in the next few weeks. We have a little bit of time left, and I think it might be interesting to have you, Baroness Scotland, speak a little bit more. And I think, in my view, if you're speaking to the audience here, but also speaking to those members of the Commonwealth, I think that what I think would be interesting for them to hear is the future of the Commonwealth in your view, the plans, the agenda, your sort of mission. Because you've been at it for some time, and I know now is the most challenging time. And how do you really want to sort of roll up your sleeves? What do you really want to get done and achieve so that these governments can hear it, so that there's no question about how brilliant you are and all the good work you're going to be doing?
Well, one of the things I'm proudest of, and I'm so glad that my good brother and friend from the Gambia is here, is to try and make sure that we leave absolutely no one behind. Digitalization is going to be key because it will be the defining issue. So many of our member states are so far behind on digitalization, and that is an issue for us. But climate change, but one of the things I was proudest of is to see how many of our member states, like the Gambia, have taken advantage of our toolkits. When I came in, I knew that we had to listen to our member states to find out what they needed in practice and how they needed to change. And I know the Honourable Minister will remember the joy I felt when I saw how the Gambia had taken our toolkit for financial risk management and had used it to enable them to garner for themselves $25 million so they could themselves respond to COVID-19. You know, so often people have to reach out to the IMF, to the World Bank, and it is the joy I see from our Secretariat is creating the tools that will enable our member states really to express. So, for example, we now have 42 implementation toolkits. One of the other toolkits that I know that the Minister will remember is we've created, I know it sounds really boring, but it's really necessary, a performance management toolkit for the implementation of the SDGs, so that we actually know what money we're spending, what the impact is having. And the Minister was right to emphasize the fact that we are pooling our knowledge, our expertise, and our innovation. And I really want to say a big thank you to India, because during this period of COVID-19, particularly for our small states, we have 32 small states, 25 of whom are small island developing states. Many of them felt as if everybody had forgotten them and they weren't important. But the brotherhood and the sisterhood that was being created in the Commonwealth meant that India reached out to her small states, but also because there was a feeling of close friendship, the small states could reach out to India and ask their bigger brother to help. And I think that we have to continue to use that innovation. I spoke about frugal innovation, which is what India and others are absolutely focusing on. So I think we have to continue with innovation, because we are going to have to innovate if we're going to come up with the solutions that we need. We are having to look at climate change, which is an existential threat. If you look at what's happened, we've had in the last 4 years, we have had 6 of the biggest hurricanes in living history. And climate change is here with us, and we're going to have to find the solutions for that. So what Manoj was talking about, the blue, the green economy, we have to be sustainable. And we have to now come up with a 22nd century solution to 22nd century problems. We can't afford to have 19th century approaches to this new. But we've got to look at women. I mean, you know that one of the things that we have seen is developing human capital. We launched, when I was there, the idea of having Commonwealth says no more. Gambia says no more when I went to Gambia. Why? Because 1 in 3 women in the world is suffering from domestic violence. It is having a huge economic impact on us. And if 50% of our population isn't going to be able to enjoy and contribute to that development, then we're not going to be where we need to be. And young people, 60% of our Commonwealth is under the age of 30. Their innovation and their creativity is a huge pool that we need. And we have to be able to enable them to be the leaders of today and to listen to them. So I want us to do the issues about climate, about the rule of law, making sure that good governance is at the fore, and delivering on those SDGs. And there is so much for us to do, and I'm just so proud that the innovations that we've put in up till now has meant that the Secretariat is fit for purpose and is able to be the partner of choice for all our member states. And that's something of which I'm extremely proud, but our job's not done and there's lots to do.
Thank you. Foreign Minister, let me ask you a quick question. In your view, do you think countries that are, whether it's your neighboring countries or your fellow members of the Commonwealth, are utilizing the Commonwealth as a toolkit, such as the Gambia? I mean, do you think that this could be possibly one of the issues that can be addressed, is the utilization of the Commonwealth's tools for the embitterment of their countries?
I think we are underutilizing the Commonwealth. We have huge opportunities at our disposal, but we are not utilizing it properly. But I'm happy that some countries are realizing that, and today we have few countries that are even applying to join the Commonwealth because they've seen the difference that it has made in many countries. When you have one of the biggest countries, one of the fastest growing economies in the world, like India, as part of the Commonwealth with all the technological advances, with all the know-how, I think we can leverage on this to take advantage of this close bond in the Commonwealth and try to help each other. There is no need to reinvent the wheel. It's just to come share our experience, our good practices, and then we'll easily move forward.
Thank you. Manoj, as a communication guru and someone that is well known for your brilliance in communication, do you see possibly a communication deficit with the Commonwealth in terms of do countries know the incredible value of the Commonwealth, and also do the constituents who live in those countries, are they still aware of the Commonwealth's relevance right now?
I alluded that in my opening remarks, that I do think that we have this wonderful engine, this wonderful fraternity, but the brand perception, unfortunately, amongst young people in India and perhaps in other parts, is that it is an institution of the past, and for all the reasons that have been discussed here with Minister and Baroness Scotland, there is a tremendous amount of potential that this club, this fraternity has. It just, I feel, requires much more definition as to what its future potential is, and how do we engage women, certainly, smaller countries, absolutely, but the young people, the generation, we're beyond millennial now, what is it, Generation Z, or I think we're beyond that, to bring them into the conversation, to ensure that the challenges that we can see before us in the 22nd century, we're starting to address now. And India over the last few years has made some amazing strides in poverty alleviation and in financial inclusion, for instance. And therefore, I would like to see, for instance, the Jan Dhan Yojana, or the Banking the Unbankable program that Prime Minister Modi initiated, where 200-odd million people were afforded bank accounts and brought them from the fringes right into the mainstream, and then bringing mobile technologies and bringing all of these exciting things that young Indians are now benefited from. And I'd love to see those same projects and those same opportunities in Gambia and in other parts of Africa and the island states that make up the Commonwealth. But we need to bring focus into all of this.
But I think it's happening, Manoj. And one of the things I'm really excited about is we've created the SDG Innovation Awards and the Youth Innovation Awards. And I was extremely proud when I saw one of the people that we had granted the Innovation Awards, a young St. Lucian man, on the front page of Forbes International. I thought, yes.
And so, I think this is it.
The innovation.
We've got to celebrate the Commonwealth and celebrate the successes of our young people and our innovators in the Commonwealth. We've failed to celebrate the Commonwealth. We've always thought of it as, oh, yes, we've got to figure something else. But the things that you've been doing are exactly the right sort of things that we need to do going forwards.
Celebrate it.
It's celebrate the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think Bravo. And again, please keep going. I know you've broken through many a ceiling in your history, done some incredible things, and you are fighting for 54 very, very important, wonderful countries. And bravo, and keep going with all your programs and efforts.
Thank you.
Thank you. Richard, if you would allow, I just want to seize this opportunity to thank the Commonwealth for sending, at some point, what we call here the hurricane judges that help us clear the backlog of cases in the Gambia. Thank you.
Always, my friend, always.